Torah portion for the week, Toldot, is so great. You could spend a full year studying Parashat Toldot and still not come close to exhausting all of its meaning. We read of the birth of the twins, Jacob and Esau. The very portrayal of the twins is the Bible's way of comparing and contrasting two types of personalities. One twin was hairy, the other was smooth. One twin was red, the other was plain vanilla. The red twin was red hot emotionally, impulsive and primal. His brother was cool, calm, and calculating. One twin was a man of the field, a hunter. The other sat in tents all day and helped his mother cook. One twin was preferred by his father, the other by his mother. One twin was destined to become the progenitor of the Jewish people, the other, the father of the Jewish people's enemies. I want to draw your attention to the critical moment of the separation of the twins. When the twins were young men, Esau, that's the harried, hairy, hot, hungry hunter, came in from the field, apparently having failed to kill any prey. He was famished, and he said to his brother Jacob, "Give me some of that red stuff to gulp down." Presumably, Jacob had tried out a new lentil soup recipe on that day, and I imagine the aromas of onion and garlic and celery and carrots and whatever else goes into ancient lentil stew drove Esau to distraction. Jacob, the cool, calm, and calculating one, responded by demanding first that his brother sell him the birthright. In antiquity, the birthright was the firstborn's financial privileges of inheritance and demonstrated the assumption that the firstborn would take greater responsibility for the family. And Esau was the firstborn. Barely. He came out first with his younger brother hanging onto his heel. That's why the younger brother was given the name Jacob, Yaakov. It means something like, I came out of the womb hanging on to my brother's heel. And in Hebrew, Jacob, Yaakov, implies cool, calm, calculating, and a bit crooked, somewhat of a heel. By the way, there is a midrash that Jacob was actually the oldest, because since he came out last, the rabbis say he must have been put in first. Thus, while he was not the firstborn, he was the first conceived, and therefore was deserving of the birthright. But that's not the way the Bible sees it. The Bible makes no effort to hide the dubious methodology of Jacob's acquisition of the birthright. Jacob is punished later in his life, measure for each of the deceptions that he committed as a young man. Esau responded to Jacob's demand of the sale of the birthright with this key verse. Vayomer Esav, Hinei anochi holech lamut velama ze li bechora. And Esau said, I'm going to die anyway. So what do I need the birthright for? And so Esau sold Jacob the birthright. Jacob gave him soup to eat. And the episode is summarized in the Bible in this way. Vayochal, vayasht, vayakom, vayelech, vayizav Esav et habechorah. It's such a beautiful phrase. Vayochal, and he ate. Vayasht, and he drank. Vayakom, and he arose. Vayelech, and he departed. Vayivaz, and he spurned the birthright. The way the passage is written conveys Esau's utter casualness about this. He ate, he drank, he got up, he left, he spurned. Esau lives for the moment. I'm going to die anyway, he says. So what's the difference? What difference does it make? There's a bowl of soup in front of me, and I'm hungry. It's not even close. He doesn't even pause to comment on the food itself. He doesn't compliment his brother about the new spice that Jacob put into the soup. He doesn't stop and smell the coffee. He doesn't slow down, enjoy the food, engage in conversation, invite his parents to join him. Nothing. He just gulped it down, according to Jewish tradition, like a camel, and then got up and left. Didn't even recite Birkat HaMazon, the grace after meals. What difference does it make? What difference does anything make? Hinei anochi olech lamut. I'm going to die anyway. No. It's really, that's what I like. And listen, in the future, maybe we'll be able to stage this, to get all these fireworks behind me, instead of trying to produce fireworks on my own here. Jewish tradition picks up on this Esau living for the moment. There's a midrash cited by Rashi that portrays Esau asking Jacob, what does the birthright give me? What exactly is it? What does it give me? And Jacob responded, it entitles your descendants to serve God in the temple. And Esau smirked, what do I want that for? We might say today, what the heck? Give me a bowl of soup. We know many people who live like Esau. Their hunger is superficial. It's all about the moment. They eat, they drink, they get up, they walk away. With no thought of anyone else, no thought of their future or their descendants, no effort or desire to take responsibility for themselves, for their families, or their loved ones, or anyone. They just live from moment to moment. After all, life is short. I'm going to die anyway. What's the point? And thus, they spurn their birthright. They spurn their responsibilities. They spurn their future. Jacob offers a different model of how to live. He knows that he too will die, but he plans for the future. He calculates. He has hope and a vision for his life. He has an appreciation of how his life fits in with the future destiny of the family. He wants the birthright. He wants it for his descendants, whom he will never know, but who will know him, and that for him is compensation enough for his mortality. Jacob offers a model of how to tame our overwhelming appetite for the moment with purpose, meaning, goals, and values. In reality, Jacob's perspective is the radical one. He revolts against the seeming absurdity and insignificance of life. This is the heroic model of life. It's common for many people to reach a point in their lives when they consider life to be a pointless struggle. They feel the walls closing in, and all they think of is the next meal, the next pleasure, and the last day. What difference does it make anyway? Why does anything matter? Jacob, on the other hand, struggles his whole life. He's filled with human flaws. The Bible makes no attempt to hide these flaws. To the contrary, what makes Jacob great in the eyes of the Bible is that in the end, not that he is free of flaws. Jewish heroes are never perfect. All of them are blemished. Rather, what makes Jacob great is that despite his flaws, he overcomes. He struggles with himself. Eventually, he fights his inner impulses to cheat, deceive, be envious of others, and to best everyone else. And he struggles with God. That is, he hungers for meaning. There has to be more to my life than eating and drinking and getting up and spurning. And he even says, "Achen yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh ve'anochi lo yadati." Behold, God is in this place. And I never knew. Jacob asks, why am I here? What is my purpose? And the Bible tells us that in this struggle for meaning, in this battle with God, he fights at least to a draw. He learns enough to allow him to continue to live life with purpose. His name is changed to Yisrael, Israel, the one who fights. It's the fight and the struggle that creates satisfaction and purpose in life, even though Jacob ends up deeply scarred and wounded by the fight. What makes Jacob great is not that God helped him along with miracles. There's a late midrash that has God saying about Jacob, I never performed any miracles for him. Everything Jacob did, everything he accomplished, everything he acquired, he did through his own efforts. He does it through morally dubious means. And the Bible makes no attempt to hide its displeasure. At the end of his life, Jacob himself acknowledges that his life was hard, implicit recognition that he was repaid for all of his past discretions. But Jewish tradition is teaching that all of us, even the greatest of us, are made from the clay of human composition. Like Jacob, we are a mixture of good and bad. Failure, envy, competitiveness, morally dubious thoughts, and actions are all part of our human makeup. But the purpose of life is to struggle. Not to be cleansed and cured of all of our blemishes, but to learn to live with them. We gain satisfaction and meaning in fighting ills. Esau's statement, I'm going to die anyway, what's the point of anything, is really a cry of despair. Everything is hopeless and useless. My life has no meaning. Judaism teaches that our purpose is to rebel against hopelessness and to fight resignation, to remain defiant, and despite our mortality, to persist to the end, and to find enduring meaning that fills our days. We can overcome. We can prevail, or at least bloodied and wounded and limping, fight life to a draw. Amen.